Hello everybody! Today I'm going to show you how I make my meatballs that go into the freezer, and there's also a sauce that goes on it too. And I have to kind of hurry because I have company coming over and I'm right in the middle of doing this. You're going to need 3 pounds of Lean Hamburger. So this is 91% Lean Hamburger. And you're also going to need 1 cup of crackers. Now I get these at a dollar store. They taste just like the Keebler Club crackers. Absolutely delicious. We're going to need a cup of these, 2 eggs. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to blitz up some crackers in my little mixer right here. There's more ingredients too, but we're just going to get some of this going real quick here. Suppose I could move you up just a tad right there. Just blitzing up some crackers. That looks pretty close to a cup. I don't know if it's a cup or not. We're going to find out. Actually, I'm going to use something bigger so I don't spill. Alright, I need a cup. Alright, that's a cup. Wow, that's pretty good. So it's about a half of one of these packages. You can see that's about how much I got left of this package here. And I'm also going to throw in a cup of oatmeal in with these crackers, just so I've got that out of the way. Throw this back on because I need some onion. So it's a half a cup. Half a cup of some onion here. I don't know if that's going to be a half a cup. Throw 1 more in for good measure. Oops. Might help if I put my blade in there, huh? That's what happens when you're in a hurry. Ah! Okay. Let's finely chop your onion here. Yeah, I did like about a half, just a little bit more than a half of a medium onion. Just a yellow onion. It's fine. Alright, we got that ready. There we go. We're going to just set that aside. My counters are very clean. I'm just going to set that aside for a sec here. Get it out of my way. Now I got to deal with my hamburger here. This is not in 1 pound things, so I'm going to have to pull out I'm going to have to pull out some meat. Alright, let's get our bowl over here. Some people sit and mix up their hamburger with their hands. I don't. I just don't. onion. What I like about this recipe, you guys, is you make your own barbecue sauce. So you control what's in it. You control whether there's sugar or ethanol in it, which is high fructose corn syrup. Seriously, it's a byproduct of ethanol. And they're putting it in our food. Everybody should be outraged. Alright. That's my camera died. I'm having all kinds of problems here. Okay, so I put the onion in there. Stirred that up. I'm going to add in the oatmeal and the cracker crumbs. And I just kind of mix it as I'm kind of going here. I don't dump it all in at once. I kind of mix a little, put something in, mix a little. You can do it however you want, but some people like to get their hands in there and get dirty. I don't like doing that either. I just find this works better. I can get more even distribution. And I'm not in a hurry, so. No doubt I will edit the hell out of this recipe here. Okay, so you got a 12-ounce can of evaporated milk. Shake it up really good. Oh my god, I'm not very strong today. I'm just going to start adding some of this in. I actually want to get my eggs in here. And my spices. So I'm just putting some of it in. Still stirring. I'm stirring with a fork so I can break up the meat. Spices, it is 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of chili powder, a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, not garlic salt, garlic powder, and a half a teaspoon of pepper. I'm going to put about half of that in right now. Give it a stir. Pour a little bit of milk in there again. You're going to want a bowl of water, and that's going to be for your hands. And I also have a cookie sheet here, a very large one, with some wax paper on it. And I have also already made sure that I have room in my freezer to put a tray of meatballs in there for them to freeze. Okay, I'm going to put the rest of my spices in so that I can do my eggs right here. Two eggs, large eggs. Okay, I'm going to put the rest of my milk in. See, I know this looks really soupy, doesn't it? But it all mixes up. The reason why you want to use the lean ground beef, because otherwise you're going to end up with so much fat in the pan when you bake this, and that's not what you want. You want, you're going to have barbecue sauce on them. You want Lean Hamburger. Make the investment to buy the extra lean. It makes all the difference. You don't want to be, you don't want your meatballs swimming in a pile of grease, is what I'm saying, when they cook. So making sure that this is completely incorporated, everything. That's why I like to use a fork, because I can use the tines of the fork and just really get that meat mixed with everything else. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to do my first batch here. This will make, I believe it's about 2 of my big, huge cookie sheets of meatballs. So I'm going to have to put this in the refrigerator while the first batch is freezing, because I'm just dealing with a small apartment-sized regular refrigerator freezer. Alright, these are good. Should grab a spoon here. My cookie scoop is what I'm going to do. Where am I? Oops, I got to get some water here. And the water's for my hands here, you guys. I'm going to have to dip my hands in here to, let me see if this is going to work. I can't remember which scoop I used before. Hold on. That looks a little big. I gotta wash my hands. Okay, it's a small cookie scoop, but so it's supposed to be like about the size of a walnut. So probably about 1 inch, I suppose. Okay, and I'm going to start putting these on my tray here. So for me, it's my small little cookie scoop here. Okay, I will be back after I get these rolled, you guys. Hi you guys. About to get my meatballs out of the freezer. Here we go. Alright. We're going to have to do another batch here. I'm going to move you over. Okay, so I had to stop what I was doing because I had to go do some Christmas shopping, you guys. So it's the next day. I also got my machine out here. This is my vacuum sealer and my bags. I buy my bags from vacuum. I think it's vacuumbags.com. I'm not exactly sure, but I bought them directly from the company and they were dirt cheap. This is like a 50-foot roll, and I got 2 of them because I couldn't find another brand that I used to use. Alright, so I've got my oven mitts on here because the pan is cold. Alright, let's see. Alright, I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so I'm going to put these in sealed bags this time, and I'm just going to kind of figure out how many to put in there, so how big to make my bag. Let's see. 1. Okay. You guys, I got my white machine here for $4 at a thrift store. I love thrift stores. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to seal the bag. Shiny side up. So a nice seal, and I'm going to go ahead and put some meatballs in here. Remember, these are on wax paper. The other batch is, well, what I hadn't rolled yet is in the refrigerator. And I think last time I showed them, I didn't put them in sealed bags. I just had them in a couple of Ziploc bags because I was out of freezer bags. But I'll do one more roll here. If I can get them in there. Alright, so I did about 4 rows. Looks like I made my bag a little bit too big. So I have to bring some for Christmas, so maybe I'll do one more roll. There's not that many of us, so... But everybody likes them, so... And they're also great the next day, or a couple days later. Alright. I think that's enough. So I've got too much in here. I'm going to just trim my bag a little bit. I didn't have to trim off too much, about that much. Oh, so I should get my marker and mark that. Well, actually I don't need to. I think this is what I'm going to bring for Christmas, so I'm okay. I love this thing, you know. I got this so cheap. There we go. Perfectly sealed bag. So we're going to throw this wax paper away. I'm going to get out a new sheet. And we're going to get the next batch in the freezer, and I will be back when we do the sauce. Okay, you guys. This is a very simple barbecue sauce. I've got 2 cups of ketchup right here. I've got a cup of packed brown sugar. In my bowl, I've got a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, not garlic salt, and I used up the rest of my onion that I didn't use in my hamburger mixture. It's supposed to be about 1/4 of a cup. This might be a little bit more, might be more like 1/3 of a cup. And I got some liquid smoke right here. Now, I'm always really careful with liquid smoke because it's so powerful. So I'm only going to do 1/8 of a teaspoon. The recipe that I'm going to post is going to be 1/2 teaspoon. And of course you can adjust that as you wish, but I'm going to just do 1/4. And then I'll taste it. So I'll put that in there. By the way, you guys, sugar alert, sugar alert. On the back of your package, right here in your sugars, you should see only sugar. If you are seeing sugar and other sugars, do not buy it. Right now, C&H is the brand that does not have the added sugars. The added sugars, you guys, is ethanol. It's the high fructose corn syrup. They are trying to kill us. They really are. That stuff should be banned. Alright. Me and my rants. Alright, I'm going to put my brown sugar in here. You don't have to heat this up or anything, you guys. We're going to just mix this up. I'm just going to mix up my onions with the garlic powder and the liquid smoke with my brown sugar before I add my ketchup in. And what you're going to do is you're just going to stir it until the sugar is all dissolved. Alright, let's go ahead and put our 2 cups of ketchup in here. Now I notice like all the ketchups, unless you buy some specialty brand or you make your own, they've got that high fructose corn syrup in that too. And it's usually sometimes the second or third ingredient. It's just, it's so angering. It's not good for you. I mean, it's an ethanol byproduct. Look it up. Alright, just getting this all stirred up. I'll probably switch to a whisk. I know I got a small bowl going here. I guess if you wanted to hurry this up, you could put it in a small saucepan and, well, probably a medium saucepan, and just get that sugar dissolved. That's all you want to do is get that sugar dissolved. I'm going to grab a whisk here. That high fructose corn syrup, you guys, there's a lot of countries that have banned it from their food decades ago. And they keep adding it more and more into our food here in the United States. I have a big problem with the Food and Drug Administration here in the United States. There's something very corrupt going on with them. I mean, just the way that they have dealt with like hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin for COVID. Maybe I can't say COVID, huh? I really don't care. You know, this is, the people have a right to try whatever they want for their own bodies. I mean, and to be putting this garbage into our food, I think people need to start contacting companies, write them a letter, write them an email, whatever, but complain. Maybe even call them if you don't like to write. How about calling them and telling them, I don't want you putting this in my food. I know it's cheaper for them, but you know what? They're killing us. And you know what? Maybe tell them, I'm not going to buy your product anymore because you're putting that garbage into our food and I can't support you anymore. That might get their attention. Trust me, you may think that you don't make a difference. You really do. One person can make a big difference. You know, don't think that nobody else isn't calling and complaining about this. I'm sure there are thousands of people calling and complaining. Add yourself to that list. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe nobody's calling, but I think, you know, I'm about ready to start calling them all. I noticed it's in Hunt's. Hunt's is usually my favorite ketchup over Heinz. I like Hunt's better. This is a combination of both. 1 cup is Hunt's and one is Heinz. We got to start standing up for ourselves with these big companies, and I found out a lot about the sugar industry when I was researching my diabetes and trying to correct that. So this is looking pretty good. So you just want to put this into some containers, and you have your barbecue sauce. And I think I've shown on my other video on my meatballs. I mean, the recipe says to put it on right when you put them into the oven if you're going to make the whole batch. These make about 80 meatballs. But you see I divided them up. So I'll usually have to make maybe another batch of this barbecue sauce. Oh, that's right, I was going to taste this, wasn't I? Let's give her a taste here. For the liquid smoke. Yeah, you know, I could use another. I might put in another 1/4 teaspoon. So I have a teaspoon of liquid smoke. Me pouring this over the bowl is very dangerous because this stuff comes out so fast. Okay, so I am going to mix that in. And I'll have the recipe in the description, you guys. I know you guys like that. Sorry, that's my tin underneath. It's on top of my burner here. Alright, that sugar looks it looks to be dissolved, but what I'll do is I'll maybe just let this sit out and just come along and stir it for like the next 15 minutes or something, just to make sure. So yeah, when you go to bake your meatballs, 350 oven, put as many as you want in there. I usually put a foil down below and give it a little light spray of cooking spray. And then I'll bake them for half an hour. They got to be in there for an hour in the frozen state. And then at the half-hour mark, I will take them out and I will spoon some of this delicious homemade barbecue sauce on and plop them back in. If you don't want to do that, if you want to throw it on at the beginning, you can do that too. Thanks for watching.